Okay, so this video is going to be about as a man. As a man, what you cannot, maybe what you can and cannot do. As a man, so before I, see a female in passing, a woman, I should say, a woman in passing, and I could be able to do stuff like smile at her, wave. I don't want to wave, but I'm more of a smiler. So, hey, how you? That's my hey, how you doing? Because I want to acknowledge people when I walk past them. I don't want to walk like we're in a zombie world and we can't speak to one another. So I would always give a little smile and keep on moving. And that was fine before I transitioned. As a man, you can't smile. I don't want to say you can't, but it makes women feel weird when you smile at them randomly, especially, and it's not the same anymore, because now being viewed as a black man, because that is what I identify as, it's uncomfortable for women. I'm realizing it's uncomfortable for women to see a random guy smile at them, and even just in passing. And I don't mean any harm. I just want you to know I see you. That's literally the reason I do it. I see you. You're safe. I'm doing it to say I see you. You're safe. You don't have to worry about me hurting you. If you need somebody to walk with you, protect you, whatever, I see you. But because of the world we live in now and how a lot of dudes are, it doesn't come off that way. So that's one thing I notice now, what I can't do. Or you have to do in a different way, I should say. What I can't do as a man, and these are not my views of what I feel like are unacceptable. These where I can't do's are how I've noticed people expect you to navigate in the society, and you can't show emotion because now you a bitch, now you're sensitive, now you soft, and I don't like that. Not that, again, I've said before, I was never an emotional person. I definitely cried before, but it wasn't like every fucking 2 seconds I'm crying. No, nothing like that. I just would be able to cry. Now it's got to be a lot going on for me to even get sad about it. So what you can't do as a man, show emotion. What you can't do as a man is, and this is what I can't. I'm gonna say this one is what I can't do as a man is wrestle and play fight with my wife, or obviously with any female, because why would I be doing that with them? But with my wife, and she doesn't. This one she does not understand, and I'm breaking it down for you, so maybe y'all can help me understand, or maybe y'all might be on her team about it. I don't know. Maybe she's right, but for me, I'm so much more aggressive now because of the hormones, and it's unintentional. I swear it's unintentional, because I'm really a soft person. I'm a gentle. I like to do stuff gently. I'm not really rough, but I don't like to play fight with her or anything like that, because I don't know how to play. And this is so weird too, because growing up, I had a next door neighbor, a little white guy. We were close. He would come over my house and we would wrestle. We would be really wrestling in the living room. Now you can't pay me to wrestle because I don't know how to play. Once you get too rough with me, now we're fighting for real, and I don't like that. So I just don't even don't play slap me, don't play punch me, I might be boring. That might be boring for y'all, or maybe it seems like that's a bit much. But I swear to God, I don't know how to play, so I just don't. I don't even go down that route. So she gets upset because she wants to be wrestling and stuff, and I just no. So what else you can't do as a man? You can't show any signs of weakness. I look everybody in the eye, and sometimes I veer off and look away. A lot of people, a lot of people have this tendency to, when they start the lying, their eyes go up and they're into the air, and it's like they're trying to pull stuff out the air to just bullshit you. When I look out and over and everything, I'm literally trying to focus. And so I'm going to look you in your eye. And I'm not, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I'm really just trying to figure this stuff out a lot of the time, and so yeah, you can't show any weakness. And the minute that you don't, I feel like the minute you don't stare a man in the eye, it's just like, oh, this dude is weak, and that's not the case. Sometimes I'm just trying to get my thoughts together, and it's a lot because my mind is constantly. So the things you can't do as a man is show any type. Let me back up. Things you can't do as a trans man, especially show any type of femininity, because the minute that you show any type of femininity, it's gonna be, oh, I see it. Oh, I see that you used to be this. See that you used to be that. I remember I went to a therapy session when I was trying to, in the works of trying to start hormone therapy, and I remember the lady, the therapist, sat there and she told me things that you can't do, like don't use your hands when you talk, because that's more on the feminine side. Now, as y'all will be watching this video, is the damn day is as I'm sitting here right now. Clearly, I use my hands a lot, but it's not. I don't feel like it's not in a feminine way, which would mean like, I don't know. Yeah, you get me. But I use my hands to talk a lot because I'm animated when it comes to letting you know, when I use my hands to talk, I'm engaged with you. Like, I'm really into this conversation with you. That's how I am. And I've never gotten anybody ever say, oh, you're feminine because you use your hands when you talk. Never in my life, ever. So, and I say that because there was literally, and they told me years after I had been working there, there was a bet going around my job if I was gay or not. And I had somebody break it down to me, like, how did this come about? He said to me, it's not like you don't have feminine mannerisms or anything like that. It was because when he came up to me and he would dap the other black guy up, because there's only 3 of us, he would dap the other black guy up. It was, hey, what's up, bro? And then they embrace each other, dap each other up, But when it came to me, it was, he would, hey, bro, he would, what, bro, whatever. He would do that. He wasn't a black guy, but he would do that to me. And I would say, hey, how you doing? And shake his hand. So immediately he thought I was gay because I didn't dap him up. I shook his hand. Like, what kind of shit is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, guys are on some really weird things. But things you can't do as a man, you can't, I don't want to say it like that, but you can't be too reserved. You can't be too, what is the word? You can't be, you have to be a male chauvinist, so to speak. Like, all day long at work, all guys do is talk about the girls at work. And talk about what they do when they're not at work with such and such and whoever. And I know that shit is a bunch of bull. Y'all do not do all of that, and most of them are married anyway. But it's just like, why do y'all feel y'all have to sit there and talk about females or women that way? I don't want to say females is becoming a derogatory term, but talk about women that way. And it's just when the conversations at work start to go like that, I start to get the hell up out of there, because these conversations are not for me. Have been on both sides of that. I've been on the other side of that, not so much getting hit on, because I've always been the way that I look, minus facial hair, minus certain things. But I've always been who I am, and so even still, guys still used to hit on me. And I always found that to be really, really weird. And it wasn't just them saying, I think you look good. It would be like too far, sexual, like too far, you know what I mean? So that wasn't so much the things you can't do as a man, but things that they expect you to do as a man. And I hate that. I don't get into that. Like, I separate myself from that, because I know how that feels, and I don't want anybody else to feel that way. Like, they can't even come to work and be safe or comfortable. So, what else? Things you can't do. things that you can't do. You can't do stuff like musicals, and obviously, this list is not real. This is not a real list of things you shouldn't do or whatever. This is things that people don't expect from you. People expect me to be into sports, watch basketball, watch football, baseball, whatever the case may be. And I actually watched more sports when I was younger than I do now. I don't care. I couldn't even tell you. I don't even think I could tell you 5 professional athletes, because I don't watch sports. Because I don't say I don't watch them. I don't follow them. Like, if the game is on, especially a Saints game, if the Saints game is on, I'm gonna watch that game because it's already on the TV, and I know what's going on because I used to watch sports, but I don't follow them now, so I don't keep up with that. I'm not into stuff like fixing cars and stuff like that. Like, I never learned how to do that. I never got into that. I don't care. That's not even a guy thing. There's female or women. There's women that like to do stuff like that too. So that I hate that that lane that people think you got to be into. You got to be into sports. You got to be into cars. You got to be into guns. And I'm not a fanatic of a lot of these things. But it's also to be fair on my end, I don't know a lot about what I'm into because my interests have changed. I love, if you've seen my journey video of me just putting my clips and my photos together, because I never did a video of that from the beginning of my transition till today, then you know that I love to sing. I love R&B. I love that type of stuff. So anything affiliated with that, I'm going to more so go that way than I will before I talk about fixing a car, shooting a gun, which I know how to do these things, know how to do certain things on cars, but I'm not a fanatic of it. I'm not going to sit there and talk about it day and night and all of that stuff. So it makes me feel out of place a lot of the times, especially at work, when the conversation starts to gear towards, things that you think are macho, and I don't relate because I don't want to. Things that you can't do as a man. Before your transition, you were fighting women before that. You can't fight them now. And this goes with the last, but I'm not a fighter anyway, and I've never done that. So, because now especially if the police get called, now you're a guy hitting a girl, and that's way worse than before. So don't do that. Maybe I should do a list of things you should do. And now I can do that. A list of things you should do as a man. Get in touch with how you feel and be able to effectively, effectively communicate your feelings. Because when you don't do that, and I know a little bit about it from experience, just a little bit. When you don't do that, you're building yourself up to be too aggressive and too out of touch and mostly too aggressive, because you're holding all of that in. You're gonna have to release that eventually. And if you don't regularly work out and you're not active regularly, that energy has to go somewhere. Energy transfers. Is that right? It transfers. It doesn't just disappear. So it's gonna go somewhere. Be a protector. And when I say protector, I don't have nothing to do with the fighting and all of that. Financially, emotionally, spiritually, all of that, it matters. The way you show up for people. Things you should do as a man, or a person in general. If you say you're going to do something, do it. If you know you're not going to be able to do it, don't make a promise you cannot keep. I never understood the idea of cheating. I never understood it, because I always feel like if you don't want to be with somebody, just don't be with them. I don't care how much it hurts. It hurts far less for you to tell them, I don't want to be with you. I can't do this with you, rather than you saying that you're with them, they're saying they're with you, and then you're going behind their back being with somebody else because you're not big enough to say, this ain't working out. This is not what I thought it was going to be. Be who you say you're going to be, and do what you say you're going to do. And if you can't do that, don't be out here making promises to people or committing to people and you don't have no intentions of being committed. Really. And that's not a man thing, that's a human thing. Don't be with somebody if you can't be with them. Go do your thing, but be honest about what it is that you want. I have a hard time being honest about things that I want because I'm in fear of disappointing people. And this has nothing to do with cheating. I'm not a cheater, but I want to be too much for too many people, I want to be too much for people, and I'm not even enough for myself sometimes, and that hurts me a lot because no matter what, because I said I was going to do something, I come out on top. I'm going to do it. Then when it comes to me, it's literally like I'm trying to pour into other people, and there's nothing in my glass, so I'm exhausted all the time, and I have what seems like an attitude all the time, because I don't say all the time, but when things of that nature happen for me, and it's not nothing, nobody even did anything to me, it's just because I put too much pressure on myself to get something done because I said I was going to do it, and now I got resentment towards them because I didn't speak up for myself and say, hey, I want to do this for you, I don't know if I'll be able to, but XYZ. I keep telling you, effective communication is very important. And if you sit there and you're completely honest with somebody, tell them, hey, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that for you, and they give you a hard time about it, no disrespect, but disrespectfully fuck them, because you can't keep pouring if you have nothing to pour into somebody else anyway. So that's my thing. I have the biggest issue with telling somebody I can't do it, because I'm Superman. Everything that I've wanted to do, I've done it. If I said I was going to do it, I've done it. So I have a very strong mentality of being everything I said I was going to be. When they told me, don't get out of the Navy because you're not going to find a good job, there's no jobs out there, you're going to end up right back here, or worse off than if you were just to stay in. Bet. It's like, don't challenge me, because when you do that, I'm going to prove you wrong every single time. And tell me I can't do something, I'm going to prove you wrong every single time. And that might be an ego thing or a pride thing, but I don't give a damn what it is. Just know you can't tell me I can't. I'm the only person that can tell me I can't. And I tell myself I can't on a lot of things, because mentally sometimes I don't think I can do it. When I literally sat here and told y'all anything that I've ever wanted to do, I've done it. Because I know I can. But I get in my head sometimes and I tell myself that I can't. Literally, I'm my worst enemy. That's why I say stuff like, there's nobody on this earth that can say anything worse to me than I've said to myself. I've downed myself a lot. I've belittled myself a lot. There's nobody that can say anything worse than I've said to me. And I don't care about what nobody thinks about me. So when it comes to stuff like that, like, I think everybody has a little bit of care about what somebody thinks, but it's not always the same type of, I care about their opinion and it's going to make me feel bad if they think less of me than what I think of myself. It's nothing like that. It's just that as humans, we slightly care about what somebody else thinks, just because I'm the type, like, why do you think that about me? Like, what is it? Did I do something to make, and that's if it's on a negative aspect, obviously. Like, did I do something to you or against you to make you feel like this about me, But it's not enough for me to care about their opinions so that I change myself, Unless changing myself is for the better of me, not them. So, or for their gain. If it's for my gain, for the betterment of who I am, then that's different. So yeah. Like, my video is probably gonna be all over the place, but I'm like chatty today. I haven't had a good chat in a while, so I'm happy to be feeling better, because COVID was serious, but it wasn't as serious as a lot of people have had to deal with. I really had it easy, so hopefully I don't get it again, because I don't want to do it again. They say it's better to give than to receive, and obviously I've told y'all about a few times that I give and I don't know how to receive sometimes. Don't always give with the intention or expectation, I should say, of receiving something, because everybody can't give. Some people don't have it as good as you have it, or some people just can't, so if you know that it's not from the kindness of your, this is just an opinion of mine, if you know it's not from the kindness of your own heart, don't even worry about it. Like, don't even give, because now you're expecting something in return, and that makes the gift not a gift, in my opinion. I never give something that I can't afford to lose. If you don't know if you can afford to lose it, if you want to go out on a limb and whatever you believe in, I'm not saying, you know, everybody believes in God or whatever the case, but if you feel like you're not ever going to get it back, don't give it. Because it's probably going to come when you least expect it. It's probably going to come in a form that you never thought it would come in. I've gotten so many blessings in forms that I never knew it would come in. And it could be monetary, somebody's time, a new friend, you know, whatever the case. Those are the best ones, I swear to you. When you don't know how it's going to come back and it comes back better, you get better, you receive better than what you gave out. Those are the best ones all the time. This talking is making my lips get a little dry. My mother taught me never to give what I couldn't afford to lose. And don't give expecting anything in return, because just because you can give doesn't mean somebody else is able to give it to you as well. I think we all should always be honest with ourselves, no matter what it's about, the smallest little thing to the biggest thing, because once you start giving up too much of yourself because you're not honest with what you can deal with and what you can't deal with, it causes resentment. It makes things a lot harder for you. You act like you got a chip on your shoulder. You act like people owe you, and that's nobody owes you a goddamn thing. So get that right on out of your head, you know. No matter, like I keep saying, no matter what you do for somebody, if you're expecting something in return, nobody owes you anything. So if you've done it, that was your choice to do it. That was your decision to do it. Nobody has to do it in return because you did it for them. Be honest with yourself. I've done a lot of things in my life, honestly, out of the kindness of my heart, or me trying to be a decent person. I've done so many things to where I did it, not that I didn't want to do it. I did it because I felt like that's what the other person needed, or that's what the other person wanted. And it caused me to have those things towards them. Resentment, a chip on my shoulder, or, you know, whatever. Because I wasn't honest about the fact that I love you, but I don't want to do this for you.